there's a high probability I'm probably going to have to redo this recording because I am not alone. But what if all we try to do is just get one a day? I'm going to save up this much. I'm going to divide it into 40. And I'm just going to get one of those a day. One. I'm going to do that every day. Either on my lunch or at the end of my shift. But I'm going to get one a day. And I'm not leaving until I get that plus. And it could be done on the first, or it could be done on the first chop. It could be done on the first bread special. Whatever I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to fight for. So if I add that first month to my starting capital of this, that would give me this, right? And if I only increased my base bet by 150, we'd have 250 as my base bet. Now we're doing an extra 150 for 4. A lot of people say, oh my God, you're going to flat bet that. Take a 0 out. Would that bother you? It's no different. Unit don't know its value until it's on the table. But it doesn't have feelings. So if we did that for 30 days, that's what you'd have. Now you add the prior month's take. That's what you have in the take in 2 months. Just getting 1 unit a day. Now you add your starting capital. That's what you got. That's what you got. Total. So, 19.5 of that is take. The other 10 is your starting capital. At this point, you probably don't even need your starting capital because we're not going to just keep doubling the take. But let's say for 1 month you just increased the prior month for 1 month only by another 150. Piss on it. Let's make it 2. Right? Be 600. And if this is what we had, divided by 600. We still had almost 50 units. 50, and we're only trying to get 1 a day. Listen, if we had some pushback where we lost 10 of those units, maybe we'd settle down and try to go back to these for a minute, right? Just to loss recover for a little while. And that could happen. But we're only trying to get this. How hard can it be? You're going to lose 25 times in a row without ever winning. You're never going to get it like, a more binary situation where you're not quite winning, but you're not quite losing. It's usually going to be that, right? But we stay close to that, and then we get one, we got them, and then we leave every fucking day. So anyway, we established we had that in the first 2 months alone. Technically, is us, minus the 10,000 starting capital. That's our take right now. But if we simply did that, we divide by 600, we got almost 50 units. We only got to get 1. So obviously, 600 times 30 would be 18,000, right? And of this take, that would be the total net take for 3 months' work. So what I propose is, once you have that much, plus the 10,000 original, now we're just going to go and take 1 purple a day. We're going to actually reduce the take by 1 black chip. We're going to divide it by 500. Now we have 95, which effectively gives us 2 bankrolls of 40 plus almost a third bankroll with 15 extra units. So you could say we have 2.5 bankrolls basically. Not quite, but very close. So we're only trying to get this. Let me look at my calculator history here. Yeah, we had 47.5. Okay. 47.5 divided by 595 units exactly. So let's say that we never change that ever again for the last 9 months of the year. You'd have that times 9 months. Now, go ahead and add that to the 47.5. That's what you made in 1 year. And don't forget, like, if you had this, right, and you're only trying to get, 1 of these a day, I mean, cripe. Just in the first month alone, you'd have that. And then you add that to this. Okay. And we're never going to change from this unit. We'd have 125 now. So let's extrapolate how many units we have over time now. If we were to do another 15 the next month, right? And you divide that by this. Every successive month, you have more and more units, which means you have more and more bankrolls. 40 units in a bankroll. We almost have 4 full bankrolls there in 5 months. Right? It's outstanding. And all you're trying to do is get 1. Now what the fuck happens if I did that just 1 more month? Never changing the base unit and I'm only trying to get 1. Well, you'd have this. Oops. Plus this. You'd almost be at 6 digits, bro. In 6 months. I believe that's what that calculated to, was 6 months. Right? And that's fucking crazy. A case could be made you never even had to decrease from this. This is the 2nd month. You could have just stayed at that, You could have stayed at that level indefinitely and just made this every month. Right? And did that times 11 months. Plus what you made the first month, right? You'd still be doing all right. But this would look pretty cool on a daily, right? It's only a little more. But, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Just wanted to share. Now that's a lot to capital to raise to go ahead and divide by the 40 units. But if you think you can get 1 unit a day, jeez. And you got to the end of the year and you had like this built up. Divide that by 40. You ready for this? What would you do the 2nd year divided that by 40? Not that much. We're not psychotic. We're not going to bet that. But, what would you do? Like, even if it was this, you'd have 182 units. That's still 4.5 bankrolls even with that. And, when you break it down like that, all of a sudden, like, 182 grand doesn't seem like a lot of money anymore, does it? It really don't, does it? It doesn't. That's it. That's all you get. But, gee, 182. 182 seems like a lot smaller number until you add the zeros to it, right? That's fucking crazy. But think about it. How many people you see be in there and they're betting stacks of the black chips and it ends up being something crazy like this or whatever. And they have no business making that bet. No business at all. But they'll do it. Or they'll put 2 purples out there, right? Over and over. How long do you think they're going to last like that when they get in a bad run of bullshit? Not very long. Fuck. I've got to tell you. 40 of those is 40G. You coming in with 40G? Because that's what I'd say you'd have to be playing with in order to play with some level of patience and comfortability that the shit ain't going to hit the fan. Right? And that's why I'm saying raise this and divide that by 40. You're using a reasonable number for the amount of capital you've raised. It gives you 40 shots. Now, of course, you could lose. You know, what if you lost, let's say, 13 of these? You'd be down 3250 of your starting capital already. Right? So, oops, too many numbers. Or no, did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Except I was supposed to use a minus sign out of divide. 3250, you'd be down to 6750. Here's the key. You can't think about it like money, guys. They're soldiers waiting to be deployed. But you can't send them out there to get friggin' Hiroshima'd. You can't send them out there to fucking die all at once either, right? You gotta put them out there in a calculated way where every single one matters, right? Right? No child left behind? How about no unit left behind? How about every time we put this out there, it's important. Every single one. They're not dispensable, right? Because we want this to work the first time. So we can turn around and just walk right the fuck out. Like we were never there. But if you keep doing this, you know, and doing this, and then doing this, and doing this, maybe what you're hunting for isn't working, first of all. To me, one time's already too many, right? I don't think I want to do anything more than this in one set of occurrences. I think if it gets to 3, that's enough for me, right? Like, that's how my chop thing works, right? Right? Or we're playing for the 2-2s. If it misses twice, we're not going to try to make the third one come down on the second, right? So I would say that's the max for each individual. I call them micro sessions. Like, we're just trying to find something that's sticking. And sometimes we're going to have to get something that sticks, 3 times to recover what this disappeared from. But that's what the whole point of having the bankroll is to be able to have the extra that, okay, well, this didn't work, and neither did this, right? But we should still have these left, right? Should still have those left to right the wrong that the cocksucker event happened in. And you know what? Fuck it if it didn't work. Maybe wait this many hands before you jump back in. See what's actually happening. Maybe something else presents itself that was better than what you actually thought was going to work. And by staying out and just giving yourself the grace to repair your heart a little bit, take a walk, come back. And I don't even care if you missed out. Just fucking leave it alone a minute. You don't have to prove nothing. Certainly not to yourself. You know what you're doing. Or anyone else. It doesn't define you. Shit's hard enough. Don't make it harder. But that's what it can be, man. Real quickly, once again, to review. You do that the first 30. You add that to your capital. Right? Divide that by 400. You still got 40. You got more than 40 units still. You got 43.75. So, it's basically what you did the last month, except now it's worth a little more, right? So you just do it again. You're just getting that one. You just proved you can do it for 30 days, first of all. So if you did prove you're able to do it for 30 days, then that's what you're working with. You got enough. You get that times 30 days. You have 12. You add that to this. Gosh. It seems like a lot, but at the end of the day, you still had to raise this first. So that's your net. But you still own it. So since you still own it, you still have it. And now, just one time only. You could divide by this if you wanted to. It'll give you a few more bullets. And hell, you could even just go right to this and not even worry about the 6. Just trying to give us a one-time jump. I think the thing that scares me about jumping up to this is I'm going to feel like, well, I already did that. Why should I decrease it, right? Why should I decrease it? But, obviously, like I said, 600 times 30 would be 18,000. So if we did that 6 times 30 days, 30 months, yeah, maybe. But that's what you'd have, right? That's the third month, take the 18. And that's what you'd have total, minus the 10 you'd have 37.5 take in 3 months. Just getting 1 unit a day. It's not really hyperbole. If you can't get 1 unit a shoe, then you shouldn't even be playing, right? And if the shoe just suck a dick from the beginning, like you can't, then leave that fucking shoe. And then practice just getting 1 off of all the other shoes, which you know you can. You don't have to use the whole bankroll on a faggot-ass shoe. I'm sorry about that word. But you don't have to, you know what I mean? You know a shitty shoe when you see it. You don't have to fucking leave yourself in that emotional fucking damage. When you see another one like, oh, I would have killed this. But you weren't there because you're too busy fucking around in a shitty one. I mean, this is how it multiplies if you just repeated that process, right? On an exponential times 2 scale, but this is what it would be. So don't tell me that Mickey didn't do it because he realized he just had to fucking find a way to get little wins here and there and just keep building over time. We'll put time on our own side now. So what I want to do is I still want to do my shitty humility work and then go there and just bust their balls real quick and walk out and double my take for the day. And soon it'll be tripling my take on what I worked my job for all day long. But right now I can't do none of that. But I will. I will. If all of my work here that I've done for free for everyone, by the way, I don't charge nothing. Everything I've been able to show is going to mean something. Because I already know I've done this. I did that out of nothing. So I can raise this on my own. And then get this. And then fucking just start taking them every fucking day, bro. But for now, I just want to prove how simply being able to get that a day, every day, if you had the capital to support that kind of way, you can't just go in with, I'd say even like doing this is not enough, right? What does that give you? Nothing. It gives you nothing, right? Divided by 250. It's close. It's not quite half, but it's not terrible. I'd say that would probably be enough to get 1. It would almost be hard to not come up 1 with that much, right? It'd almost be impossible. But I don't want to even put myself into that stress level. I'd rather know that I'm not down to my last dime, I guess, I mean, let's say I started with this much and I lost half of it. I'd be down to that. And that would be the equivalent of 20 units gone. Would I continue to fight to try to recover those 20 at that level? I don't know. I don't know. Because you know why? I could go back to this and just try to get one of those a day for a while. Right? And I could split that. I could say, instead of just getting one of those, I could say I could get two of those. Right? So I did two of those a day times 20 days. I'd have that. Times 30 days, I'd have that. That's not what I'm trying to say. 25, get two of them a day, times 30 days. I'd have that. Not bad. I'm getting one extra unit a day, but the unit's smaller. So now I add that 7,500 to the 5,000 that was remaining. I'd have that. I'd actually, for my aggravation pay, have made 2,500 on the difference in 2 months. Now, making an extra 2,500 in 2 months ain't shit. But you didn't just say, fuck it, I'm going to blow through my capital till I'm broke, right? You went into loss recovery mode. And you proved you could do it. And instead of just getting one, you got two. But you did it at a much smaller level to protect yourself. You know, you're still getting that. So. That's it, though. I'm going to get that every day for the first 30. And then I'm going to get that for 30 days because I'll have more than enough, right? It's going to be unbelievable. Because then I'm going to have that, plus that, plus my initial in 2 months. Again, that's the take, but I'd still have all this too, theoretically. Presuming that I got out every day with the one. And that's never a threat that I can't do that. Like, give me a break. I would tell y'all, get at the Wizard of Odds and practice getting your one every day until you get it and just shut the app off. You're like, you're done. You got your one for the day, you're done. What else you got to think about? There is nothing to think about. Shut it down. Fuck, I'll take a step further. Drive somewhere. The distance that it is to go wherever you go. Maybe not all the way there. It might be far away from you. Drive to the park. Drive somewhere. Pull your app out. Prove to yourself you can get the one unit. Shut it off. And drive back home. It's no different. It's no fucking different, guys. But it encourages the mental part of it, right? That you're going there to do it, you know, and then you leave. I know a lot of what I've said is we're trying to get 3 units a day. Now I'm saying fuck it, just get this, but have it be meaningful. But if you don't have the capital or the ability to raise that kind of capital to just go for the banger every day, then do it with the small stuff. And I've said it before, you could even do it with just this and get that 3 times a day and do that for 30 days. That's not bad, right? Fuck. And do that for a year. That wouldn't be bad, just getting that through. But that's, already been talked about. But anybody can do this at any level. I just wanted to point something out that a lot of people, it's not hard for them to, with effort, save that much. Reduce your spending and not be a cunt in the meantime. You should be able to save that much to do it correct. And then, like I said, divide it into that. We'll do that for 30 days. If you want to even just keep manifesting that for times 3 months, then you'd still have that. you know, if you wanted to stay at the base level, you'd have doubled your starting capital plus made an extra 22.5. I mean, you know, fuck, right? I mean, that's what it would be. You'd have that in 3 months if you just never increased the take. Right? Now divide that by the second month idea that I suggested at the beginning of this video. You'd have 81.25 units. 2 full bankrolls. Maybe that is the better idea. Reverse thinking it. I'm not a patient enough motherfucker. But I mean, maybe that is the better idea. Do that for 3 months. Rack that shit up. And then say, alright, now I have this. And I'm going to one time do that. Okay, so that's 32.5. I'm going to do this. And not quite. I'm going to do this times 30. And we had the 32.5. Yeah, we still got 44.5. I'm going to divide that by 600. That's not what I wanted to do, sorry. Do that, divide that by 600. You'd have 74 units, bro. Now, obviously 600 times 30 days is 18,000. We add that to this number here. That effectively would be the 3 months of the 250 plus the 1 month of 400 plus the 1 month of 600. Did I not do that right? 18,000? Yeah. 62.5. Fucking crazy. So, that would be 5 months. Doing 3 months at the base of 250, and then 4, and then 6. And by the way, that's without this, right? I think. Even if it's not. That's Jav. Right? You can divide that by, now, let's say we go to just the purple chip a day. Gives you 125, which is 4 full bankrolls, or rather 3 full bankrolls, plus another 5 units of 5s. And now if you're doing 15 a day, a month, you'd have this. Every month extra would be another 15, be another 15, be another 15, be another 15. Oops. Put a 0 in there. There you go. And you basically, you know, just keep dividing this by that, and your units just go up every month. What you have disposable. How long could you stay at that level? You know, how long could you just keep dividing this out? Your units keep growing in number. Still, if you look at that big number to the left, it doesn't look so big when you divide it by the unit that you're using, right? It doesn't look like a lot, but 300 units is a lot of fucking units. It's almost 8 full bankrolls of 40. You're 15 short. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. But the higher this gets, I mean, it almost feels like child play at that point. You start to ask yourself if you're doing enough, and that's where you got to be careful. It's always enough. If you keep it on the level, it's always enough. Anybody in their right mind would be happy to make that much in a month. Now, with every successive month, it's not going to be like, are we going to get him today? It's going to be like, oh, fucking, this guy's coming again. But you're in and out. You're in and out every day. You're not a threat. You're not breaking their balls every day. You're not hitting them for this number every day, right? You're not crushing them like Mickey did for this every day. Not every day, you know. I mean, fuck. I'm not him. I can't speak for him. But like, let's say he was doing this. I got 10 units. Like, there you go. I mean, it's $250,000. Any way you chuck it up, that's a lot of money if he was making that. They were letting him bet that much. Imagine being that, having that kind of fucking change, dude. Oh my God. We don't gotta think like that. Don't gotta think like that. We don't have that many zeros to shell out there. Might not even have a zero at all, right? Just depends. There's nothing wrong with not having a zero on the end of it. The math comes out the same. What I was just showing you, just take the zeros off it. You'd have the same. So, have a good night.